The song, The Jesus Way, by Phil Wickham, speaks powerfully to how different the way of Jesus is from that of the fallen world. The way mentioned in the song is often lacking in my own life, and I wanted to share some thoughts on practicing the Jesus way. The lyrics emphasize that practicing the way of Jesus involves love, forgiveness, and sacrifice, which are often counter to the ways of the world. And even Christians sometimes stray from this path, myself included. I hope you'll join me for a few minutes, as we look at several of the lyrics to see how the practice could be transformative for individuals, but also for the church and fallen world. If you hate me, then I will love you. In Luke 6:27-28, Jesus teaches his followers, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. In these verses, Jesus emphasizes the importance of loving and blessing those who hate us, instead of retaliating or seeking revenge, which seems to be the norm. Though the task is difficult, if we choose to love, instead of continuing a cycle of animosity, we could conceivably break down walls and barriers. We could possibly create a space for understanding and empathy, a possibility of healing between parties. And on a personal level, if we opt for love, we are also choosing to let go of anger and resentment, which can lead to inner peace and personal growth. Loving those who hate us could also promote healing and create a positive ripple in society as a whole. If you're helpless, I will defend you. In Psalm 82:3-4, the psalmist writes, "Defend the weak and the fatherless, uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy, deliver them from the hand of the wicked." These verses are a call to defend and protect those who are vulnerable and in need, something that seems to be lacking in our Western approach to Christianity, and in my own life. Standing up for what is right and just, even in the face of adversity, can lead to personal growth, and a sense of fulfillment, knowing that we are making a difference. But more importantly, defending the helpless can contribute to the creation of a more just and compassionate world, a world where the helpless are not trampled. If you're hopeless, let me show you there's hope. Jesus spoke many words on the hope he offers, and it is a hope in which we share. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." Matthew 11:28 and John 14:1. These verses remind us that those who are often seen as the most hopeless or marginalized in society are actually blessed and valued by God. Providing hope for the hopeless could make a huge difference in a world where despair seems to prevail. Hope can give people a reason to persevere through difficult times. Hope can also create a sense of community and support, as people come together to offer encouragement and empathy to those who are struggling. Providing hope could also lead to social and political change. This can include addressing issues such as poverty, inequality, and discrimination. Some conservative Christians may see these as liberal issues, but let's not let political stances or agendas, right or left, keep us from practicing the Jesus way. Ultimately, providing hope for the hopeless can create a more compassionate society, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and realize their God-given potential. If you strike me, I will embrace you. In the book of Matthew, Jesus teaches his followers about the principle of non-retaliation, saying, "You have heard that it was said, 'Eye for eye and tooth for tooth.' But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Matthew 5:38-41. These teachings emphasize the importance of responding to violence or hostility with love and forgiveness, rather than retaliation or revenge. Responding to cruelty with kindness or compassion challenges the cycle of hostility that often typifies our lives in the fallen world, and it could potentially break the cycle, showing a different way forward. This act of kindness could show the aggressor that there is another way, one that does not include animosity, and it could create the opportunity for reconciliation or healing. Responding to animosity with kindness demonstrates the power of love and compassion to overcome hate and violence. A single act of kindness in the face of harshness could have a ripple effect and possibly bring hope and transformation to a wider group, like a church, community, or nation. And if you chain me, I'll sing his praises. The specific phrase, "and if you chain me, I'll sing his praises," is not in the Bible, but the concept of praising God while persecuted or imprisoned does occur in Scripture. For example, in Acts 16:25, Paul and Silas were in prison, but they were praying and singing hymns to God while the other prisoners listened. Most Western Christians have not had to face persecution, except for the occasional scorn or ridicule. Perhaps, we have become comfortable or complacent, not wanting to stir the pot. So we avoid doing something that could conceivably bring about persecution. Jesus said that those who claim his name will be persecuted, and if we are not facing persecution, perhaps then, we are not doing what we ought to be doing. If Western Christians would be truly willing to stand for the name of Christ and his way, and face and endure persecution, chains, or imprisonment as a consequence, then they could see growth, change, and triumph in ways and degrees that the Western Church has not seen, not for a long time. Putting it into practice. Christians who fully embrace the Jesus way can be a powerful witness to the world, demonstrating the transformative power of his vision. On a spiritual level, following the Jesus way can bring deep personal fulfillment, a profound sense of peace, and a closer relationship with God. By embracing the teachings of Jesus and practicing the Jesus way, Christians could experience a life that is aligned with their true purpose and the values of Christ. On a societal or global level, if believers were to fully embrace the Jesus way, it's conceivable that the world could be transformed in profound ways. While social issues have been usurped by certain groups with political agendas, concern for these issues is nonetheless biblical. When it comes to combating poverty, racism, sexism, and other forms of inequality or injustice, Christians could be, and perhaps should be, at the forefront of these issues. If the Jesus way is fully embraced, it could bring transformation to individual lives, communities, nations, and even the world. I know some of what is in this video is controversial. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for watching.